Hey there, self-care warriors. Welcome back to Self-Care Haven. Today I'm going to be reading out loud an article that I published on Psych Central recently called 12 Common Lies of Narcissists and Sociopaths Translated into Truth. So we're going to be discussing these 12 common lies that manipulators often tell us in the early stages of dating or a relationship, and we're going to decode them one by one. So let's get started. Lie number one is, I would never lie to you. And the translation of this lie is, I'm lying as I say this. You do know that an authentic truth teller wouldn't have to convince you, right? The reason I constantly have to tell you that I would never lie to you is because I know that you will eventually find the discrepancies between what I say and what I do. When you're struggling to understand why I'm acting with such cruelty, you'll remember how I emphasized to you that I am a person of character, of integrity, an honest person, a person who would never do such things. You'll be confused because my actions speak so differently from my words. You see, I'm slowly but surely brainwashing you into believing that I would never lie. This will create a conflict in you, create cognitive dissonance, enough reasonable doubt for whenever my lies come to the surface. You'll want to believe that I am the person I pretended to be, rather than who I truly am. So this lie is all about grandstanding. We know that covert narcissists often portray themselves as very honest, charitable, transparent, loyal people, and they often speak a lot about how much integrity they have. But these are wolves in sheep's clothing, right? These are covert wolves in sheep's clothing. And often their grandstanding is a manipulation tactic in itself, a falsehood used to disguise their true nature. Lie number two is, he or she was obsessed with me. Translation: my past victims discovered my infidelity, my falsehoods, and even gained a momentary glance behind the mask. They called me out and even tried to expose me. They tried to hold me accountable for my actions. Don't be surprised if they reach out to you to warn you. But by the time they do, you'll be convinced they're crazy and obsessed with me. They're just jealous of what we have, or at least that's what I'll tell you. They're just stalking me because they want me back so desperately. Couldn't have anything to do with the pain I inflicted upon them, would it? So this lie is all about damage control. The narcissist and sociopath often preemptively strikes and defends themselves by painting their exes, people who found them out, people who discover their true nature, as crazy, unhinged, obsessed with them. So if you hear someone talking about an obsessive ex, I would be wary. Just keep in mind that this might be a narcissist talking to you. Now, there are people who do have obsessive exes. Abuse survivors are those people who have stalkerish exes. However, often survivors don't come out with that in the first date, right? So if you have someone who's telling you that in the very first meeting with them, I would be very wary. Number three, I was hanging out with friends. Translation: I'm busy grooming my primary source of supply, an old flame or a new victim. I've got lots of friends in my harem who worship me and who need my time. Rest assured, there's always plenty of ego strokes to go around. Anytime I disappear, you can bet I'm love bombing someone and getting the attention I'm entitled to. Don't worry, you can be my friend too. So this is all about the fact that narcissists and sociopaths often lead double lives. So if you notice that your dating partner is disappearing over the weekends, or they just seem to be unreachable at certain times, watch out for those blackout periods, because when they say that they're hanging out with friends, they could easily be grooming a new victim. They could have a significant other that you may not even know about. They're very clever at hiding their tracks. So if you do notice these disappearances, these unexplained disappearances with lousy excuses or cancellations or just general overall flakiness, be on alert. Sometimes empathic people can be flaky, sometimes they can cancel, sometimes It's not a double life, but if you notice some red flags and you notice in addition to those red flags that this person seems to disappear on you often, then that is a sign that there's something off there, right? So be sure to look out for this lie about hanging out with friends when they're busy love bombing and grooming new and old victims of their harem. Lie number 4, I'm just so busy right now. Translation: you're my transitional target, not my primary one. Something to keep me satisfied in between my 2 or more significant others. I'm so busy sleeping with my boyfriend or girlfriend over the weekends, taking out my various affair partners on the weeknights, and flirting with anything that moves in my spare moments. I simply don't have the time to invest in you while entertaining so many others. However, I'll be happy to keep you waiting for my attention on the sidelines so I can tap into your resources whenever I'd like. And who knows, perhaps if 1 or 2 of my victims bow out of the harem, you'll get to occupy a new position on my weekly rotation. How fun would that be? So this lie is all about you being the side piece, right? So if you've ever unwittingly, unknowingly become the other woman or man in narcissist or sociopath's harem, you know what I'm talking about. This person already has a significant other. They don't tell you about it, obviously. They're deceiving you. They're deceiving their significant other. They have all of these affairs on the side, and you unwittingly or unknowingly become ensnared in the narcissist trap, and you think that you're the one and only, when in fact you're just one of many. And you know, when they say that I'm so busy, it's usually because you're not the primary target. You're just a side piece. You're a side source of supply, which can in itself be a blessing because they're not investing that kind of time and energy that they're doing to their primary source of supply. However, they're going to keep you in the back burner just in case they need you. So they'll give you little crumbs to keep you hooked, and they'll breadcrumb you into staying and into hoping that, you know, they'll sweep you off your feet again, just like they did in the idealization phase. But what's really happening is that you're just one of the many chess pieces, one of the many pawns that they have laying around, just in case they need you. Lie number 5, it's crazy how much we have in common. Translation: it's not crazy at all. It's actually highly calculating. I've studied you and I'm mirroring you just like I've done with all my other victims. I know your deepest wounds and your deepest desires because upon first meeting you, I poked and prodded to uncover your strengths, your weaknesses, your interests, your passions, and everything you're missing from your life so I could fulfill it. Now I'm going to morph into what you've always wanted from a partner, at least for the time being until I get what I want. Then I'll take the mask off from time to time. Soon, you won't be able to recognize the person you fell in love with the person standing right in front of you. Lie number 6, I miss you and I love you. Just checking in. Translation: I want to know that I still have control over you and your life. This is a test, and I'll often check in with you after I disappear for days, subject you to a hideous violation or transgression, or silent treatment, or make you jealous by showing off my latest victim. I am checking in to see if I'm still significant in your life, that you still ache and long for me. I'm sure you remember me. How could you possibly forget? So of course, this is the classic hoovering technique where the narcissist comes by to check on you. They text you, I love you. They text you, I miss you. They claim that they can't live without you. They say that they've been thinking about you, that they've changed their ways. But again, it's just hoovering. It's just a way to check in to see if they still have control and power. And even if you do get trapped again into the hoovering technique, even if you respond, they're just going to go back to their old ways in due time. So just be wary of that. Lie number 7. Cheating is morally wrong. Translation: cheating is wrong if you do it. I have very different standards for myself. I expect and demand complete loyalty and transparency from you. However, I'm free to carry on numerous affairs, treat you like a side piece, or lie to you about the fact that I'm already committed to someone, all while stringing you along for money, sex, companionship, shelter, praise, whatever else you have to offer. Again, narcissists grandstand about the moral values they do not have or possess, but they expect you to be loyal, transparent, have integrity, and be empathic towards them because those are the qualities that keeps you locked into the abusive cycle, right? Lie number 8. They mean nothing to me. You're my one and only. Translation: God, all this rivalry over me, Please keep going. How absolutely exciting. I get so bored when I'm in a long-term committed relationship. It's wonderful to create these love triangles and have so many people compete over me. I'm just that special. I thrive on the validation and attention of many admirers. I will never really choose anyone. I will just enjoy the game of always choosing myself and my own needs first. So narcissists triangulate others, they triangulate us into vying for their attention and approval, and they often have their harem members competing for them, right? Competing to be that significant other, when in fact they never will choose anyone because they're never loyal to anyone but themselves and their own needs. Lie number 9. My ex was so dishonest and so toxic and crazy. Translation: I was of course the toxic and dishonest one, but you won't figure that out until it's too late. I betrayed my previous partners and they found out. Of course, by then I had to discard them because they had seen behind the mask, and they were no longer willing to invest in forgetting my crimes. And now I have to do some damage control by convincing you that I'm someone you should pity and take care of and nurse back to emotional health. Someone who's been hurt by others in the past. Feel sorry for me. Come closer. The truth is, I prefer to be the one inflicting pain. Lie number 10, and you're going to find this lie a lot with sociopaths especially. I've just moved around a lot. I like to travel, or I love to travel. Translation: I love leaving the places where my victims have me figured out and starting all over again. With each new destination comes a whole new life and identity, where I don't ever have to deal with the consequences of my actions or the people who know my true self and want to hold me accountable. Once I've exhausted my numerous victims in each city and state, it's time to pack my bags and go on a new vacation. I leave a trail of victims wherever I go. Lie number 11. I used to be a player, but now I'm a changed man or woman. Now I want a meaningful relationship and a life partner. Translation: Are you buying this bullshit? I hope so, because I want to sleep with you soon, and making you think that we're gonna one day be in a relationship is the first step to getting into your pants. I'll fake some shame to go along with my reformed image. I'm just so deeply remorseful for all the people I've hurt in the past, and I've really learned my lesson. I'm a new person. Not. The truth is, I'll never change. Lie number 12. I'm truly sorry. I really am. This is not who I am. This is exactly who I am, and my behavioral patterns should have tipped you off by now. Sure, I'll apologize from time to time to make you think that I really want to change, or that this was just a momentary lapse. I hope you're buying it, because if you let me back into your life, it's going to be one hell of a ride. So I hope you enjoyed these translations. The truth is that narcissists and sociopaths will never change. They will continue this pattern with their new supply no matter what. So just be aware that these lies are meant to entrap you in the cycle. So once you start to translate them into the truth, and once you start to realize that these people are pathological liars, that they repeat the cycle with many different victims time and time again, and that they lack empathy, and they are callous and cruel and contemptuous and pathologically envious of you, and they want to put you down, and they want to keep you down, and they want to destroy you. Once you realize that truth, you're never going to be able to buy into that lie again. And that's when you stop gaslighting yourself. That's when you resist the gaslighting effect of the narcissist or sociopath. And that's when you begin to detach and go no contact or low contact and begin to heal. So I hope these lies translate into truths have helped you process some of the pain and the trauma that you may have gone through. Please leave in the comment section below the lies that you've been told by a narcissist or sociopath, as well as the truth that they represent. I hope to talk to you guys soon, and until next time, take care. Be sure to check out my #1 best-selling book, Becoming the Narcissist Nightmare: How to Devalue and Discard the Narcissist While Supplying Yourself, a #1 bestseller in personality disorders.